Hello and welcome to The Star, a program that deals with matters concerning politics, entertainment, technology and business. Today we have two interactive interviews for you, and we have your favorite hyperlocal segment. Not only that, our background reporters will be bringing you information on things that affect us.
It is one of the fastest growing sources of information, not only in the world but in Kenya. Bloggers have put a mark on many of the agendas in Kenya, but should they really have an impact in the community?
What is the motive of people who use social media, specifically blogs, as they pass information? We talked to Dr. Wandia Njoya, who has been nominated twice for the Baker Awards, to tell us more on this topic.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wandia, for joining us today. We are so glad that you came. And we want to congratulate you for being nominated twice for the Baker Awards. Yeah. Would you like to tell us how you got here? Like, how did you get nominated, and what led you to start blogging?
Okay. I think I was nominated mostly because of what I had been writing about the doctor strike. But I've been blogging. That blog, I've had it for about 3 years now. And I had been blogging previously in another blog for another 7 or so years. So about 10 years blogging. Yeah. So the blog that won last year was a classic blog for Daystar. So it's actually, technically it's Daystar that won that one. So this time I'm nominated as that.
So you're excited, yeah?
Yes, I'm excited. At first I was like, no, I wasn't doing this for the award, but now that the day is coming closer, I'm excited. And I'm also excited about the potential to get our voice out there, especially on important issues like health.
So why did you start blogging?
I started blogging when I graduated and I was coming back home, and I was worried about will I be relevant, because I'm in the humanities and we are always told that our courses have no market. So I was worried about that, and so I was blogging sort of like therapy, thinking about what can I say about what is happening in Kenya, and does it make a difference? Yeah. So that's how I started, and I was being hosted by a blog called the Zeleza Post, which was hosted by the now VC of USIU. So that blog brought together African academics who were commenting on social issues that were current. And since we can't wait for the media to report us or for our publications to be printed, so we felt, let's respond now in real time, and that's how we started.
We're going to go on a short break and hear what guys have to say, and we'll be right back.
I don't believe that news does most of what they're doing, but in some way they actually are informative, but I'm halfway on the issue.
Not really trust their sources. Everybody's posting something about everything, and we do not know really where they got the content from or where they got their information from.
And she weighs, I think, 126 kgs, and she's trying to lose weight right now. Just because she read the blog, she was like, hey, I kind of need some help on losing weight, and I'm hoping that she loses weight by the end of this year.
Yes, I feel like they do. Reason being, they are opinion leaders. They sort of shape, like they're framers, so to speak, for people who don't understand most of the things going on, be it fashion, be it entertainment, be it politics. They sort of in some way break it down for the layman.
Bloggers have in shaping the community of Kenya, and how do they do it?
I think bloggers and social media in general, we are the people's voice. We are the people whose voices are not heard by institutions like the mainstream media or the universities or government. And so the bloggers are the people who present a different perspective. I think also bloggers have been able to shape opinions, especially where the mainstream media feels that they need to protect their advertisers. So because we don't have as much to lose, then we speak out and shape the stories that the media is initially afraid to report. then also there's just the fun part of social media. Like I've learned to cook better because I follow a few blogs on cooking and fashion. I mean, there are all these other things that blogging has provided for us. So there's information, there's a voice, and it's just expanding the community just through cyberspace. Yeah.
So thank you so much for being here with us. We're glad to have had you.
Okay, thank you very much.
That is all for the background report. I have been your host, Abby Mwende, for The Star.
That was Abigail Monde with the technology segment. Now, we have been asking you to send in your hyperlocals, and here is one we think stands out from the rest.
Hi, so here's my take on using sex in advertisement. So I really think it has a negative attitude towards society, most especially children, because they really watch this when they're watching their cartoons. So I wouldn't agree on people using sex in advertising. So maybe my friend has another reason or an idea of using sex in advertisement.
Yeah, I personally think that it's not a good idea knowing the fact that these adverts just pop up. You never know when it's coming. Like for an example, this Pony oil advert, as in I don't get the whole point. It's just oil, so why add all that stuff in it? So basically the message being passed is not the oil, but the sex stuff in that advert.
Speaking of adverts, Fiona Muiga is bringing us the business segment where she'll discuss the negative sides of using sexual appeal in advertising.
Say that the media is a reflection of our society. So when advertisers use sex concepts in advertising, does that mean that the society no longer shrinks at the sight, or is the media misreading the society? Research has shown that there is a 27% increase of sex appeal in adverts over the past 30 years. So if this type of strategy has a negative impact to the youth, why then are the advertisers insisting on using it?
Sex in advertising probably is driven by the need to arrest the attention of a target client or a member of the audience. Simply because using all the other appeals, I mean the three classical appeals by Aristotle, ethos, logos, and pathos, are probably, not quite effective in getting people to pay attention to your product or services. And given that any advertising copywriter or commercial copywriter is charged with the responsibility of selling, then they have to go out of their way, and I think going out of their way has led them to the sex appeal. And it should be looked at broadly in context that they are not essentially selling sex. What they are doing is using sex, or the sex appeal to arrest the attention of a potential client who probably has the disposable income. And I'm not so sure the clients are complaining. But do I have a problem with that? Yes. There are instances where you just see it is problematic. Like you're selling cooking oil and 80% of your commercial, we see erotic images of things that probably are confined in the bedroom. So it's not so much about what scenes you have as it is about what story do you have in selling that product, and does it come out ultimately that whatever you're selling is a service or a product? If it comes out clearly that the sex scenes or the erotic images that we have are mainly to attract the attention, after which now you have something totally different about your product, then it is a good strategy, because over the years it has been proved that there are a few things that universally unite all of us, whether we are interested or not. Love is one of them, sex is the other, you see. So if the main motive is just to arrest and to present it in such a way that it doesn't look like it is sex you're selling, so much so that whoever is exposed to the commercial sees the product and don't end up remembering the sex, then a copywriter has done a good job.
We will go out to the youth to find out if this concept affects their buying nature.
Yes, sex appeal influences us to buy these things. Because one, if you are told you'll do this, you'll get the girl as a guy. Definitely, like Gillette. You see the way Gillette, they advertise you when you use this thing, then you become attractive. Subconsciously, it gets into us because that's the only brand of shavers we know.
That's all we had for you today. My name is Fiona Mongai, reporting for Boom TV.
Going on a small commercial break. When we come back, I'll be talking to Soul from the Geatics family, and he'll be telling us more about the music industry and what he does in the Geatics family.
Your clothes that teddy bear softness you love with the new Gentle Care fabric softener and conditioner. For clothes so snug, it feels like a hug.
Hello and welcome to the interview segment. Today we'll be talking to Soul, a member of the Geatics family, and he'll be telling us more about what he does, and we'll be asking him some more questions. So Soul, do you mind just introducing the kind of music you do?
Well, okay, as a crew we do hip hop, fused with trap. Trap is the kind of song that you rap, but actually to make it look like you're singing. Let's just say that, yeah.
So many Kenyan musicians have been said to be very westernized, like they copy a lot from the Western people. Do you agree with this?
True, that's true. Most people usually, like if it's hip hop, they feel like if they twang in between the line, if they have that thick accent that is from the American whatever hip hop stars, then it makes them look legit, which is not true.
And is your music different from this?
Yeah, the music that we do is fused with the African languages that we have, especially the Kenyan languages. We do have a guy who sings in Kisii. We do have a guy who sings in Luo, and the other guy who sings in Luo, and Swahili, of course.
Alright. So according to statistics, so many musicians have been said to be misleading the youth based on their lyrics and their choice of videos. Do you agree with this?
I wouldn't say misleading. You know, you only watch what you want, and to a certain extent, musicians usually influence the kind of outcome, especially with the staunch people or young people that usually follow them. But it's for the parents and it's for the community to make sure that your children grow up in the right way.
What is that in your music you use a lot of curse words and a lot of references to women? Why do you do this?
It's the hip hop culture. We found it there, and we're just trying to go through the process. That's what I can say.
But isn't it better to use your music to preach a better message than just women and cussing?
90% you'll find that there's a message in the song, but then you cannot always have pure content without a few filters here and there. So we do have content in the music, but then again you will have to include what most people would like to listen to.
Your music would change.
Mostly because we are doing something that is purely African. We are hoping that, especially when it comes to Kenya, it will reach a time when Kenyans will embrace their own tribes and embrace their own culture, just like the Nigerians. I mean, those guys sing in their own languages, and we dance to their music. You don't even know what they're saying. So I'm hoping for a day that Kenyans will realize that, unlike the way we use our ethnic issues in separating ourselves and all that, we can actually use our tribal languages to nurture our culture and to make us prosper.
Alright. Earlier you mentioned that you actually stopped doing music. Would this be because many people have been trying to get into the music industry and have not been successful?
Okay, I won't say so because actually by the time we stopped actually singing together or rapping together, our music was really doing good. One of our songs was among the top 10 at 10 at Capital FM. Our songs were being played at Cast TV and numerous TV stations, not necessarily the major stations, but we were getting there. So I wouldn't say that we stopped because of fear of not succeeding, but we stopped because of other callings that
people for joining us for the interview. Okay guys, we asked you to send in your videos and we'll be showing you right now what the video we chose as the best. That was quite interactive, wasn't it? Now, music is said to be an old form of entertainment. So old, you can't miss it in any event. Today, Yvonne Waiganjo will be talking about the effects of music on the youth.
You only live once. That's the motto today. YOLO by Young Money called for a revolution, and so many young people use this motto to justify their careless behavior. My name is Yvonne Waiganjo, and we'll be looking at how music has impacted the youth today.
Music influences 60% of our daily lives. Since its release, YOLO has also influenced other musicians to call for a carefree life among the youth.
So what, we get drunk, so what, we smoke weed, we're just having fun, we don't care who sees. So what, we go out, that's how it's supposed to be. 'Cause you know I'm high as fuck.
But should we really follow what musicians tell us to do? We went to the streets to find out what you guys think.
I feel like people take it too far and use it as an excuse to do things and without thinking of the consequences, because you know at the end of the day you still reap what you sow. So
relatively stupid, because technically when the repercussions come along you're on your own, so the whole mentality of a group factor is technically stupid and naive, and it's a millennium problem personally.
Yes, like what the fuck, because yes, you only live once, you have one life, but don't be stupid about it. Like, have fun, but know your limits. Because you can drink, just don't drink to get drunk. Enjoy the high or whatever.
Actions which we know we shouldn't be doing, but still want to do anyway. In the long run, it's not going to benefit.
We'll now talk to two people in the music industry who will give us their views on it.
Like, music has affected the youth both in a positive and a negative way. Positive because like it gives them a voice. You can express yourself in multiple ways, in multiple genres, in multiple languages, with even instruments. But at the same time, it's affected in a negative way because some of the things that exist in music today, like the things they advertise, whether it's money, whether it's women, whether it's bad behavior, they glorify it. And now you listen to this and think, this is what I need to achieve, this is what I need to do in order to be cool, this is what I need to do to get to the next level, instead of now listening to conscious music, which doesn't really exist that much. You'll hear a lot about women in derogatory terms, you'll hear a lot about money making, you'll hear a lot about this. Really, it's never all that positive, like politically sane music or just something that will make people think rather than just hype.
And teach people how to be focused and be disciplined actually. So we should not actually focus on what is it called, following the Western kind of genre of music, because you know they have this kind of aspect of like alcoholism and all those things, but actually that's what I feel like. For moral values, the in-things.
Before you take what musicians say as the gospel truth, remember that actions have consequences. For The Star, my name is Yvonne Waiganjo.
Now you all know Kenya is at its political year. We have been seeing so many campaigns, so many that there's actually campaigns in the church. Now is this a good thing? Well, Nick Midwell will be bringing us a report to discuss this issue, and after the break I'll be talking to Dr. Manya to explain this issue from the church side.
Church is said to be a safe haven to all. But when politicians campaign in church, do they abuse the safety of the church? I am Nick James and welcome to the Background Report. Stay tuned as we look into this matter. The work of preachers is to call for equity, justice, reforms, and other ideas that can steer the nation ahead. But whoever that is not the case,
the church does benefit from politicians if a church is mainly or basically worldly related. If they've lost their vision, they will try to use politicians to bring in people, which may or may not be right, in the sense that we are to use the gospel to bring people to God. We are to use the gospel to pull crowds. And if you are to use politicians in that way, it may be right, but what is the purpose? And what will you owe the politicians?
Politicians misuse the church in the context that they've gone for a service, then they ask for permission to speak. This is in the presence of God, yet they want to bring politics in church at that particular time. Like, I feel like it's wrong because people have gone to church to receive from God, not to listen to what the politicians have to say.
Kanisa ni pahali takatifu, na wakati mwingine wale wanasiasa, manake Kanini Kega si mwanasiasa, Kanini Kega ni kiongozi. Wale wanasiasa wakati mwingine wanaleta maneno ya siasa kwa kanisa, na ni pahali ambapo ni takatifu.
Call upon the clergy not to use the church or the pulpit to promote any political candidate. We have further stated in our earlier statements that as Catholic bishops, we are not going to allow our churches and church functions to be used as campaign platforms.
According to the Capital blog, the level of partnership that has been seen in the church lately, especially among church leaders, is scary. Men of cloth have taken political mostly based on ethnicity. But should this be the case? We went to the streets to find out what you think about politicians campaigning in the church.
It comes to like pointing them out and telling them it's not good to campaign there. Well, some of us go to fundraise there. So if we say no to them, we must also say no to other things that happen in churches that are not supposed to happen.
I think it's fair game to, since there are people there and you can give your manifesto and the things you want to do for the people, and many people are listening, I think it's fair game. It's okay, no problem.
It's the house of God, and many of the politicians are corrupt. Many talk about lies. So when they bring them to church, it's like they identify the place of God.
Those minds and drifting the attention from the main purpose as to why they went to church.
Thank you for watching this episode. I've been your background report, Nick James.
Kitu gani chatuunganisha mume kwa mke, ndugu na dada, marafiki tunaowajali, washiriki hata makazini. Jambo la muhimu kwa hamu na gamu, twatumaini taifa liwe bado. Ndoto zote zetu ungana, pendana, tumeungana, twaonekana, tuko huru, tuko sawa. Ungana, pendana, dunia ijue tuko sawa. Unganisha ndoto zetu, ungana kwa upendo, ungana kwa upendo. Ni upendo watuunganisha, mume kwa mke, ndugu na dada.
Hi sir, and welcome to the interview. Please introduce yourself.
Oh, my name is Dr. Stephen Manya from Based in Brazil.
Kenya is at its political peak right now, and you're seeing many politicians going to church to campaign. So, you being one of the leaders in church, we'd just like to ask you if you think it's okay when politicians campaign in the church.
Well, it's not okay when the church are the center. Politicians are supposed to campaign out of church, in my view. And from the biblical perspective, church was meant only for let me say, quote unquote, sacred activities.
So who is letting them campaign in the church?
We are letting them campaign in church. as pastors. But it's because of a few things that need to be put in place so that this should not happen. One, my recommendation to the churches is that they should have social halls apart from having the church where they should campaign. They should not be stopped from campaigning. How else should we choose them if we do not know what they stand for in life and what we are set to gain from them? They should campaign. But they should not do that in church. They should do that outside of church. So it's better we have social halls or grounds so that after worship and prayer, after preaching of the word, people can have chance to listen to them. Because if we bring specific politicians or politicians in church, you see politicians have parties. And the church is supposed to be embracing every party, every person, because God is for us all. So if we bring party X to campaign, party B will also want to come, party C will also want to come, and the church will be full of politics. And that's why, in my view, they should be allowed to campaign, but not in church, outside church.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
We have come to the end of the show, but before I leave, I will leave you with a hyperlocal segment that was chosen as the best by you guys. I have been your host, Judy Adhiambo, for the Star program.
So this is Sawyer 2017, featuring Ella, Audrey, and Josh, Maniaco of God, as I realized so we just arrived to the table.